If you can identify the things that you do to increase your self-esteem, you can identify the things that you do to decrease your self-esteem, you can set up a strategic plan in order to increase your self-esteem. So I want to talk about what I call the self-esteem meter. So I want you to imagine a thermometer that goes from 0 to 100. Okay, and imagine that this is now the self-esteem meter. So I believe that we all have a self-esteem spectrum that goes from 0 to 100. Now, the life we live with the self-esteem in the 30s is very different than the life we live with the self-esteem in the 90s. So looking at the self-esteem meter, it is my opinion that it takes a certain amount of self-esteem to make $100,000. It takes a certain amount of self-esteem to do public speaking. It takes a certain amount of self-esteem to be willing to tithe money and to do volunteer work and to give back. Because people in the low, let's call it the 20s, 30s, and 40s, they're looking at how to get their needs met, not necessarily looking at how do I make a difference in the world. So people in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, they're not making $100,000 a year. They're not out there public speaking. They're not out there tithing money. So where you are on the self-esteem meter directly affects what you're willing to go out and do, what you're willing to go out and be, and definitely the results that you produce. So let's look at what else increases as your self-esteem increases. So your income, everything to do with money, the amount of money you make, the amount of money you save, the amount of money you invest, the amount of money that you have for retirement, because as your self-esteem increases, your future self matters a lot more. With lower self-esteem, people tend to live for today. As your self-esteem increases, you ask for and you get paid for what you're worth. You take more risks. You take more classes, seminars, workshops. You tend to focus on how you will versus why you can't. You take better care of your body. You improve your diet. There's exercise. Again, you're thinking about your future self versus what feels good today. As your self-esteem increases, you do more leading than following. You're able to see abundance and give more. So that's also directly related to your self-esteem. As your self-esteem goes up, you're willing to bring more of yourself to all areas of your life. As your self-esteem increases, you're willing to ask more questions and state your opinion, knowing that your opinion matters. You're willing to promote yourself and your business. You're willing to give of your time, your money through volunteering, through tithing. And people with higher self-esteem, they're more open, they're more honest, they're more authentic, they're more passionate, they're more courageous, they're more solution-oriented.